Hello from Sharjah, United Arab Emirates. I am here to attend the Network Towards Unity for Health 2023 annual conference, and today was a pre-conference event where I was privileged to attend and present on a program that I'm co-developing with a number of colleagues that I work with. And the presentation went really great. But one thing I would like to mention before I actually proceed is that very many of the thoughts I share on this YouTube channel are basically lessons that I've learned, striking moments in my life that I feel other people can learn from. They may not necessarily walk through my shoes, but through hearing a glimpse of what I have been through and what strikes me as worth sharing to you, I will share with you and you can do with it whatever you will. But these are my experiences and based on my subjective opinion in this present moment, time and space, like today when I'm recording. So as experiences evolve and grow and expand, who knows what I'll come back and share with you next. But came back from the conference really tired, but something struck me that I feel I should share with you while I look good before I dive into bed. And while at the board meeting, we presented and we had a couple of moments where we were being asked questions about the program and how just basically being asked questions. And something struck me that has never been asked to me before. Maybe it has, but I have forgotten. It has been asked to me before in other capacities. Let's say you are vying for a position, you're going to be asked, what do you promise? What are your intentions? But it had never been asked unto me in this particular way in the context of a board meeting where I was presenting a particular program for support and ratification in a particular network, and I'm expecting them to maybe make promises. And I was quite moved that I was asked, what do you promise? Not what do you in the team promise, not what does the program promise, but what does Mariam Arikosi Iculet promise to us today? And I was happy. Something in me was jumping for joy because those are the questions that I believe very many of us should be asked. Now, the answer came simpler than it would have for many people. To me, because of a lot of introspection, a lot of writing down my thoughts and plans, a lot of sharing some of my aspirations with people who are dear to me, people who I trust, a lot of trial and error, a lot of being able to speak out loud, even things that may not have come to pass because of a belief, a confidence, and a zeal to at least do my best to work towards it. And because I have that confidence and zeal towards working towards it, the most likely outcome is not going to be failure. So when someone asks me, what do you promise? I am not speaking from a point of insecurity or from a point of doubt. I'm speaking from a point of, if I have my way, if what I know I am going to do is going to follow its logical conclusion, then this is what I promise you. And by virtue of knowing my personal motto, which I believe I've shared in a video before, maybe I'll link it about what my personal motto is, and when I'm asked a question like this, an answer towards it will come easier than if you haven't been through that journey. Now, following being asked this question, I was struck by the uniqueness of the question and the way the rest of the members of the board sort of took a pause and were curious as to what this question was, to the point that when that member asked that question, another asked, what are your expectations of us? No, they asked, what are your expectations of the program? After that person asked, what do you promise? And these were just two beautiful questions. And I would like to first of all make it known that there are some questions whereby there is no wrong answer, and very many times we feel like every question has a right or a wrong answer. Now, there are questions that do not have a wrong answer, whereby the person asking is curious and will receive whatever you give them, and they are not going to think any less of you, but maybe not highly. They may just stay neutral, or it may go higher, or they may be intrigued, or they may disagree, but they will not necessarily think extremely low of you. Now, this was a question whereby I did not have to finesse, I did not have to pretend, I didn't have to conjure things out of thin air. All I had to do was speak from the heart and speak about my own experiences. So it's important for us to literally, I don't know if I probably have said this before, to really go through a journey of self-discovery and introspection and being willing to say our dreams out loud, make promises out loud. Of course, we know for a fact that we must not speak lightly, we must not make promises lightly, but when you have gone through a journey of introspection and you are sure of the things that you intend to focus on, then it's easy for you to make a promise, because there are certain assurances that you already have on hand, that when you are asked what do you promise, you are anchored by those assurances to speak boldly and make a promise. But when you do not even know what you want to do, when you aren't even sure of who you are, of what your purpose is, of what your identity is, and I think one day I'll kind of tap into purpose. I'm still figuring it out a bit, but there's something about purpose that, one, I believe that purpose finds you on the way sometimes. Presently, I believe that finding your purpose is going to find you applying things. It's not going to find you sitting in your couch waiting for your purpose to be exposed to you. Your purpose is going to find you in the process of doing things. Your path may be redirected, you may take a detour, but it is only through the act of doing that you will discover your purpose. So for now, purpose is not important right now. Right now we are doing and then discovering ourselves. Now, because I had those assurances, I was able to make promises once asked, and I was able to speak boldly. And because there was no right or wrong answer, that question, in a way, someone will even be lenient when you fail, because they know, well, Bambi, you know. But when you have done the work, you are going to be able to far surpass the expectations that others may have of you. But at the same time, even more beautifully, you are going to surpass even your own assumption of who you are, because very many times you may have discovered something within yourself, but even as you say it, is a discovery unto you, because you have never said that before. You have never been through that particular moment before. So even when I was speaking to the boardroom, I was also speaking to myself, because the next time this question is asked, I am going to have a recollection of what was said before. I'm going to have something to refine even more from what I had already refined from the previous raw promise I had in my mind. It was refined, and now the next time I am asked this question, it's going to go through a cycle of refinement. Therefore, as I am tired, as I'm even no longer tired, but basically I am where I am because of doing. I am not where I should be because of not doing. I could have done more, but I didn't. That is fine. But where I am today is because of doing. Do you think I knew 5 years ago that I would be here? Do you think that my dreams haven't changed as I discover and do things? Do you think that I haven't had several detours? Do you think that the exact dream I had for myself at 10, at 20 is the same today? No, it's not the same. And it's okay for things to pivot and evolve and grow. But I would not be here if I wasn't doing things along the way. So my message today is speak boldly. Make promises to yourself first. Get a personal slogan and tie a noose over your neck with that slogan, and let that noose keep putting pressure onto you to literally live up to that personal slogan. And so when random questions catch you off guard, you are going to be able to have an answer for those questions. Now, I take some of my recordings. Very many of my recordings are generally unscripted, because very many times I encounter people asking me random questions, and in the moment I have to give nuggets of wisdom, and not that I can recall, but every time I am asked an abrupt question, somehow God gives me the wisdom to answer it. So this is me practicing that, getting a random nugget of information, a random inspirational topic to speak about, and I'm able to share it. Now, this is also me doing something, because if I wasn't doing this, maybe I would be scrolling on Instagram, maybe I would be, but so that doing keeps on building you, keeps on improving a muscle that maybe you are not actually honing. So I am tired, but at least I have made use of this great outfit and advice given. So see you next time, possibly tomorrow, because I'll be looking good tomorrow as well. Bye.